Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the new Marvel Legends Captain America Civil War Winter Soldier, and we'll be comparing it to the actual Winter Soldier. Also, as part of this small little wave here, we also have Falcon, which is not featured anywhere on this box, but it has been released as like a sort of Civil War Wave 2.5. And so that's really nice that we can get more figures from the movie without having to actually wait for another wave that they would be applicable to be in. Up at the top of the box here we have a bio, and then obviously we have a nice big picture of the figure itself. So let's go ahead and get this thing open and take a closer look. And here we have the Winter Soldier out of the packaging, and this figure is an absolutely fantastic one in my opinion. I do think it beats the old Winter Soldier, but not by much, and there are actually some bad points about this figure that were not on that original one. So it has the same arms and legs. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way first. The arm on the newer one, this one right here, the red star, has the black outline right there. This one doesn't, so that looks quite nice. It's very striking. And honestly, the metallicness, like the amount of the wash in there, that's not really negligible because it can differ from figure to figure anyway, just in the same run. So this one has a lot more in this area. This one has more up on the shoulder bell and so on. This has more at the fingers. So I can't really tell if it's exactly the same or if it is a slightly more or slightly less metallic paint or molded plastic, because each little area is slightly different anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that they're probably the same. The same legs, as you can see, they've just painted ever so slightly differently. The arms are the same, but we don't get any of this gold on those bullets right there painted. But if they're not on this suit in the film, then obviously they just want to kind of not really show that they have just used the same mold. They don't want to draw attention to it if it shouldn't really be there. So the new heads, basically, this one looks a lot more like the actor than the other head of this one did, the Crybaby Winter Soldier, where his eyeshadow sort of thing was just like, basically looked like he was just crying and his mascara was running. So I've always preferred this masked look much more, and I think it makes him look a bit more kind of evil anyway. And then here we have the sort of transition into a good guy sort of thing here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It definitely looks a lot like the actor. I love how they've done the stubble there. That looks absolutely fantastic. I hope they keep on using that technique of it just being kind of sprayed on and fading out. We didn't really get much shading on the hair on this figure, whereas this one we have black with some brown shading on top, which I think is a lot more accurate because his hair is definitely dark. We have the zip and the buckles painted in silver. There's two things I really hate about this torso, and it's what makes this torso worse than that one. Number one is just the way the grip of this pistol is molded. Because it's molded to him as opposed to just sticking out, it just makes the grip looks really, really way too thick for the gun. You look at it that way, it looks good. Look at it that way, it just looks horrible. It's just like he's got a block on his chest. Yeah, that looks horrible. That is probably the worst ab crunch I've ever seen. Like it performs amazingly. That is a hell of a lot of articulation just from, one movement right there in the abs. But that just looks absolutely horrible. I'm all up for more articulation over looks, but that I think is a bit too far, because with this we actually get the same amount of articulation or there and thereabouts, but it looks really smooth and it works so much better. And looking up, it doesn't really go, so that does suck. This guy does go up once, so that's fantastic, but then it's smooth. There's no extra detailing. Usually Marvel Legends do carry on their sculpts under there, but this one they did not. It's not that much of a big deal. That doesn't look too bad, but that looks absolutely horrible. So as for the rest of the articulation, the head moves left and right, up and down. You get a bit of pivot right there. The shoulders, they go all the way around, and they also come out this far. We have a swivel right here. This one's a bit stuck. There we go. Swivel right there for the arm. Double jointed elbows, rotation, and a hinge at the wrist. We'll get onto the accessories in just 1 second. We have a loose belt right here. Waist rotation. We have the hips that come out this far. They go forward and back rotation there as well. We have double jointed knees, and the boots go up and down, and we have a really nice ankle pivot right there. So moving on to accessories, I actually just want to try something. Let's go ahead and pop that head off. Pop that head off. Well, hey, they are actually exactly the same. So yes, you can actually, if you want to, put that head on that figure. Now that, my friend, looks absolutely fantastic. I love the look of that head on that body. That looks really, really good. So actually, let's just go ahead and pop this one. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty sweet too. It actually makes him look like he's got a different costume, because his costume does change over the years. So you could have, you know, a couple of these guys and have a few of these different heads and have him looking different in different costumes and just, like, you know, in a row. If you're really into Winter Soldier, which I actually am, he's one of my favorite Marvel characters, Bucky. But back to normal. This guy came with a really, really crappy weapon. I have to say, absolutely terrible what they did to that guy. But there's plenty of other weapons that you can give him, like weapons that come with Punisher and Deadpools and stuff like that. There's so many Marvel Legends weapons now that you can give to him. You can even just pick up the Chameleon figure and you get the really nice weapons with that you can give to him that look fantastic. But this guy does come with some actual usable weapons. And they are the weapons that come with the Bucky Cap figure. However, they have been moulded in the same kind of burgundy, reddy brown that the Demolition Man Scourge was moulded in. So they just look kind of weird. Like, the knife looks fine, it looks like wood, and then you've got a black blade. That looks fantastic, and I always love this knife, really fantastic. The Desert Eagle looking pistol looks absolutely fantastic, but it should have just been all black or silver. But with this guy, you got no storage for that pistol or that knife. The Bucky Cap figure could actually store both, so they should have included, you know, we have holsters for this knife, we have holsters for this weapon. So they should have been included for this figure. So overall, I definitely recommend that you go ahead and pick both of these figures up if you like Winter Soldier. I think that the new one is better than the old one just based on that head sculpt. Absolutely fantastic. But if you want the masked look, then definitely the original Winter Soldier movie one is, you know, going to be the best bet. Although that doesn't come with the best weapons. This newer one comes with the better weapons. Although there's nowhere to store them on there. You don't get another interchangeable head or anything. So, you know, I definitely think that there's pros and cons to both figures. They're both fantastic, but I do definitely recommend the newer one much, much more. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you want to see more pictures of anything else from my collection, check out my Instagram. It's Homerino123, and the link is in the description below. For more Marvel Legends reviews and updates from San Diego Comic Con, go ahead and subscribe. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.